Transformers gets a prequel. Let's talk about it. Bumblebee. Now, Bumblebee is the latest installment in the Transformers movie series. And if you know me, you know that I'm not a huge fan of those movies in general. The first one I have fond memories of because I grew up with the 80s cartoon show. And Peter Cullen, who voiced Optimus Prime in the original cartoon show, also voiced him in all the other movies. And he just has the voice, the most amazing voice ever. And hearing Optimus Prime talk on the big screen for the very first time, yeah, my inner child was just satisfied. But overall, yeah, these movies suck donkey balls. They have all the shitty Michael Bay-isms that we just hate. Boom, 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 explosions and shitty humor. And they never focused on the Transformers. They always focused on the shitty human characters, and the shitty human characters were annoying as fuck. But now Travis Knight directs the latest one. Travis Knight, if you don't know the guy, he already brought us Kubo and the Two Strings, so I was kind of looking forward to this movie. Turns out Bumblebee is actually kind of awesome. Yeah, we have the first legitimately good Transformers movie. I mean, took him long enough. So what is this movie about? The film takes place in the late 80s and tells the story of Bumblebee. We get to see some glimpses of the war on Cybertron between the Decepticons and the Autobots. Bumblebee crash lands on Earth, loses the ability to speak, and disguises himself as a beetle, which in and of itself is just great because he was always the beetle in the original cartoon show. A young girl named Charlie wants to have her first car, and she stumbles upon Bumblebee, her very own Transformer. And now we have a very unlikely friendship that is just heartwarming and touching. I gotta tell you, there is so much to love about this movie. First of all, this movie felt like the Iron Giant. It was a much more intimate film than all the other Transformers films. Because if Michael Bay has proven something to us, well, it was the fact that he is able to bore the living shit out of folks while blowing shit up. And this movie takes a completely different route. It's all about the relationship between Charlie and Bumblebee. And it is touching because Charlie is a real character. The best human characters we've had in all of those movies because she's actually relatable. She still has to deal with the loss of her father. She is kind of the little runaway, and Hailee Steinfeld kills it. She's actually a superb actress and delivers another heartfelt performance. I loved her in this movie. She's just charismatic, she's vulnerable, and the relationship between her and Bumblebee works perfectly. This movie actually flashes out the character of Bumblebee. I can't put enough emphasis on this because in the past movies, the Transformers, they weren't real characters. This time around, Bumblebee is a legitimate character and I loved him. He's just great. And the fact that he actually looks like the car that he transforms into is just such a gratifying experience. Because if you looked at all the other Transformers in all the other shitty films, I was like, yeah, I don't know who the fuck you are. Seriously, I can't tell you guys apart, and I can't tell what kind of car you're supposed to be. This time I'm like, yeah, legit, it's a Beetle. So I love that. Also, I love the fact that all the other Transformers are only sparingly in the film. There are like 5 Transformers in the film, so it's not like 25 different robots just beating the shit out of each other. Also, they make sparingly use of the action sequences, and when they happen, it's fun. It's not like trash cans butt fucking one another with all the shaky cam galore. No, you can actually tell what's happening. And I gotta talk about the 80s nostalgia because this film does what a lot of movies do these days. It plays the 80s nostalgia card. Stranger Things did it before, and a ton of other movies are doing it right now. This could come off as a cheap trick, and maybe it is, but you know what? It worked for me. The soundtrack was amazing. The way the characters looked and dressed, it just brought me back to this amazing time, and I loved it. Travis Knight himself is a fan of the 80s, and you can absolutely tell. Now, is this movie perfect? No, it's not, because other than Hailee Steinfeld's character and Bumblebee, I did not give a shit about all the other characters. It still has some only some of the Michael Bay-isms, like the annoying family characters that we don't care about. Luckily though, this movie doesn't focus on them. They're not the focal point. The focal point is Hailee Steinfeld and Bumblebee. And yeah, I should talk about John Cena because he is in the film, but he is your typical generic army guy that you have to have in all these films. That's about it. All in all, I had a blast watching Bumblebee, which is why Bumblebee gets the silver medal. My god, Solo, a Star Wars story, and Jurassic World 2 sucked, and Transformers is now kind of awesome. I guess I woke up in Bizarro Land. So, Bumblebee, have you seen it? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. And thank you guys, as always, for watching. If you like what you see and you want to see more, then just subscribe.